Everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're tuning in from today. Welcome to this special edition of Shiji ReviewPro Insights. Cheers to reviews. After we received such positive feedback from our recent session on how Paris hotels performed during the Olympics, we're excited to bring you another deep dive. This time, though, exploring how Munich hotels were rated by guests during this year's Oktoberfest. Before we dive in, let me quickly introduce myself and tell you a bit about Shiji and ReviewPro for those who might be new here. I'm Jessica Kurtz, a Global Enablement Manager at Shiji. I've been with the company for almost 5 years now, taking on a few different roles along the way. I started in account management for ReviewPro, working with clients across Latin America and the DACH regions. Then I found my passion in training and became a global training manager, transitioned to voice of customer, and eventually moved into my current role. Through it all, though, my focus has always been on helping our customers elevate their guest experience. Now, let's have a quick overview of Shiji. Shiji is a global leader in hospitality technology, providing innovative software and services for the hospitality, the food service, the retail, and entertainment industries. With over 90,000 customers around the globe, our goal is to redefine the digital guest experience with a holistic suite of products that support every aspect of hotel operations. We offer a property management system, distribution solutions, point of sale and mobile ordering for food and beverage, payment solutions, and guest intelligence tools to help manage feedback and online reputation. One of our main standout products is indeed Shiji ReviewPro, a powerful solution that helps hotels efficiently manage guest feedback. This tool has become essential for many hoteliers around the globe looking to understand and improve guest satisfaction. So let's take a closer look at what Shiji ReviewPro brings to the table. With ReviewPro, our customers can easily track their property's performance and see how they're stacking up against competitors. But it's not just about the scores. Our sentiment and impact analysis tools dive deeper, helping our clients understand the why behind guest feedback. Plus, we know how important it is for timely responses in hospitality. So ReviewPro offers tools to support an effective management response strategy. And to get even more specific insights, we offer tailored survey options, such as a post-stay survey, pre-stay surveys, in-stay surveys, so that hoteliers can ask exactly what matters most to their guests at key times during the guest journey. So anyway, that's enough about me and Shiji and ReviewPro. I wanted to get into the Oktoberfest data, so I thought it could be fun to start with some Oktoberfest 2024 facts. So for anyone that didn't know, because I certainly did not, Oktoberfest sold 7 million liters of beer this year. 6.7 million visitors came. And this was very interesting to me. 3,500 items were handed into Lost and Found, including 14 Lederhosen, which is the typical pants or shorts that the men wear during Oktoberfest. There was a 9% increase in food sales from last year, which is great, with Händel, or the traditional chicken, being the top selling food item, 25% drop in crime, 29% drop in medical emergencies compared to last year, which is always positive to see. And finally, all electricity was sourced from renewable energy at Oktoberfest this year, which I think is really impressive as well. So those are your fun facts for this year's Oktoberfest, in case you did not know any of these. So before we get into Munich specific data during Oktoberfest, I kind of wanted to put Munich on the map compared to major European cities when it comes to online reputation. And for those that might not know, at ReviewPro, we have our own proprietary score called the GRI, or Global Review Index, which is a score based on an algorithm that we created to really be able to understand the online reputation of any hotel at any given time. And the algorithm includes points such as the volume of reviews, the sources, the frequency, and the recency of reviews. Because it is very important to understand that we put more weight on recent reviews compared to older reviews, as those are the ones that potential guests are going to focus on more. So just a brief introduction of what the GRI is in case you hear me mentioning it a few times during this presentation. So during 2024, so far, year to date, January to October, Munich has an 82.1 global review index out of 100. And you can see it compared to other major European cities, with Florence being here in first place, 86.7 global review index. And we can see Berlin, another major German city, right under Munich at 81.1. So it's just kind of to put Munich on the map for European cities when it comes to guest satisfaction and online reputation. Also, compared to major German cities, I thought it was interesting to see that compared to major European cities, it sits quite a bit lower on the list, but it is the second best city when it comes to online reputation in Germany, followed only by Leipzig. And then we can see Berlin, Dortmund, Hamburg, Düsseldorf, and so on. So just wanted to put it on the map compared to other major German cities for 2024 as well. Here we can see how Munich's Global Review Index performed or is performing throughout this year and compared to 2023. So the green line, the graph that you see, is this year so far, year to date, and the blue line are the same dates last year. And of course, it is very positive to see that the Global Review Index, for the most part, has been higher in 2024 than 2023. And we can also see that during the event dates, Oktoberfest in this case, the average global review index for the 2 weeks for Oktoberfest 2024 was also higher than last year, going from 81.2 to 81.7 global review index. And something I really want to point out, because I thought this was so interesting, is yes, the global review index did drop a bit from year to date average compared to specifically Oktoberfest dates. But if you look at occupancy and nightly rates during Oktoberfest compared to the rest of 2024, the drop is really low for the global review index. And why do I say that? Because when the rates are higher and when there's higher occupancy, guest expectations are also higher and more negative reviews tend to come. So yes, even though it dropped a bit, but less than 0.5, this is nothing compared to the much higher occupancy and nightly rates that Munich got during Oktoberfest. So just to give you an idea, Munich's average rates in 2024 are around 175 euros per night. During the 2-week Oktoberfest season, September 21st to October 6th was this year, hotel occupancy spikes raised dramatically, and nightly average rates were 416 euros. That is a 138% increase over the year-to-date average. So yes, I think it's okay that the Global Review Index drops a tiny bit during Oktoberfest if you're comparing the nightly rates going from 175 a night to 416. And that's not even talking about occupancy, which go from an average of 60 to 70% during Oktoberfest to 90% during the busiest weekends of Oktoberfest. So I wanted to share that because I thought it was extremely interesting data comparing nightly average rate, occupancy, and guest satisfaction. So let's look a bit as well at where the reviews came from, what sources, and the volume. So on the left here, we can see the 2024 year to date. And on the right, we can see specific Oktoberfest times. So Munich has received 319,000 reviews in 2024 so far. And the 2 weeks of Oktoberfest, 21,525 reviews, which is a 5.4% of the total amount year to date. So just to give an idea, 5% or a little bit higher, 5.4% of all reviews received by Munich so far this year were during Oktoberfest. And since it's really important to have a clear management response strategy and understand where the reviews are coming from, I also wanted to show you the breakdown of the sources. So Booking.com obviously stealing the show once again, year after year, and this is a global trend for the most part, followed by Google, Expedia, other sources here, hotels.com, and Agoda. And that's something I have in my notes here that I wanted to point out is that you don't see TripAdvisor in 2024. It was in 2023's top 5 sources, but Agoda actually replaced them for 5th place of most reviews for Munich during this year. So Agoda is coming in. TripAdvisor is dropping a bit in review volume, and it's just important if you are a hotelier and you have a management response strategy to keep this in mind when it comes to which review sources to respond to, and so on. And same over here, we can see for the 21,000 plus reviews for Oktoberfest, also coming from Booking.com, Google, Expedia, Hotels.com, Agoda, and then the rest right here. So anyway, I thought it was interesting to share this, especially because it really gives a better idea of where the guests are leaving reviews, where potential guests are going to read reviews, and where your response will really make a difference. So let's look at departmental indexes, because so far we've talked about the Global Review Index as a whole. And yes, that is the main index for online reputation. But if you don't understand where the specific feedback is coming from, what areas of your hotels, then it's harder to make improvements. So for Munich year to date, compared to EU average, by the way, so we see here in red, pink red, the Munich averages for year to date compared to the EU average. So where are Munich guests this year so far, giving their feedback the most negatively and positively? So value. Value is how they perceive the price that they're paying compared to the service they're getting. And that's an 80.1% for Munich versus an 83.2% for EU average. Room, 81.8%. Service, one of the higher ones at 83.5%. Food and beverage, location, and cleanliness. And it's really great to see cleanliness making a comeback after the years of the pandemic. It was really low back then because guest expectations were much higher, of course. But here we can see value, room, service, food and drinks, location, and cleanliness as important indexes of departments for guests. This is what they're rating. This is what they're observing and giving feedback on when they're staying at your properties, if you're in Munich, compared to the EU average. Okay, so we do see that the EU average is higher in almost every category than Munich. That was kind of already clear in one of the previous slides I showed, where I showed that the Global Review Index was a bit lower than major European cities. Okay, but the next slide, what I really want to focus on is what can hoteliers do with that feedback? Here we only have a score. But as I mentioned when I introduced ReviewPro, I talked about semantic analysis and the why behind guests and what score they're giving. They're not just saying, oh, cleanliness is a 1 out of 5. What about the cleanliness? What about the food and drinks? What about the location? So that's what we're going to explore in this slide right here. I just wanted to show the Oktoberfest specific semantics. Okay, so I thought it was interesting. The previous slide was year to date, but here I really wanted to show during 2024 Oktoberfest, okay, what were the top 3 most negative areas that the guests were talking about, and what were they saying specifically? Why? because hoteliers can focus on improving this next Oktoberfest or even next week. All year they can be looking at this data and already make improvements. But they already know that when the next big event, Oktoberfest 2025, comes around, they can address this because ReviewPro has given them specific points of action and feedback. So cleanliness, 85% for Oktoberfest, the 2 weeks, room 80%, and value 77.4%. So if you remember the scores from the previous slide, they did drop a bit for Oktoberfest, but once again, that's normal compared to higher rates and higher occupancy, and maybe not enough staff as well. Okay, so what did guests say about cleanliness? They talked about mold and stains, general dirtiness, unpleasant odors, inconsistent or poor housekeeping, and bugs and pests. So based on these percentages that we're showing here that comes from our semantic analysis, the housekeeping team, together with the director of rooms, hotel manager, can really try to look at improvements for cleanliness. Do we have any low season where we can put some rooms out of order and work on the mold and stains? Do we need to do some special cleaning for bugs and pests? What are the unpleasant odors? Where are they coming from? Are they higher during the summer season and Oktoberfest period? So that's specific actions they can start looking at. Then for room, lack of air conditioning. It can get really warm in Munich during the summer and going into the fall during Oktoberfest. So 25% of guests complained that there was a lack of AC. Is it time to invest in this? Can we put it into our CapEx for next year? Can we include it in the budget? Outdated or poor room facilities, the room size, cleanliness issues, and noise problems. Once again, some things you can control and some things you cannot. Clearly, the room size, most likely not. But the noise problems, you know it's Oktoberfest. What about earplugs for all the guests? Something small or something bigger, like looking, of course, at budgeting and seeing how you can make the rooms more noise resistant. And finally, value. Poor value for money, expensive breakfast, high room prices, overpriced services, and unexpected or hidden fees. Now, hotels might not want to reduce the rates, but maybe they can make their guests feel like they're getting more value from what they're paying by addressing the concerns of value, such as expensive breakfast. What can we do? Can we enhance the breakfast? Okay, high room prices. Can we put some robes and slippers in the room? What overpriced services? Do we want to look at that? So this is only a tiny insight. I wanted to keep this session really short, but I wanted to show how powerful guest feedback is, how important it is nowadays. Your potential guests are looking into it. Your guests are leaving you reviews, and you really can't stay behind. And especially with tools like our semantic analysis, you can dive deeper into that. So hopefully it was interesting. It was really focused on Oktoberfest and Munich this time, but if you have any ideas of what else you'd like to see, or if you have any questions, if you are a ReviewPro client and want to know how you can maximize the use of your account, please let us know, reach out to us. And if you're not a client and you're interested in ReviewPro, then definitely reach out to us as well. So I just wanted to end the session by reminding everyone, if you already knew, or informing you if you didn't know, about our quarterly guest experience benchmark reports, where we give you data similar to what I just showed you, but globally, across regions, across 3, 4, and 5-star hotels, cities, countries, everything is included in these. And the Q3 one just came out last week. So please take a look at it, download it. It's free, it's for everyone. And hopefully it gives you some great insights as well. So thank you so much. Once again, my name is Jessica Kurtz. It was really exciting for me to do this session for you, and hope to see you again soon.